There's a new virus in the database.
We have a zero bug attacking all login and overlay files.
Run antivirus. Give me a systems display.
Down 176, 26.
Hi and welcome to today's episode. Today we'll be talking about few critical emerging threats and vulnerabilities taking place. Starting with EvilProxy, with their extremely successful phishing campaigns, to libwebp or WebP vulnerability, which reminded us all with Log4j. And we'll be talking a little bit about AI, artificial intelligence, and its strategic effect on national security. So it's not your typical AI discussion today. So let's get started. Cyber criminals have been using phishing toolkits as an effective attack vector for the last couple of years. One of the most known used for bypassing MFA, multi-factor authentication, is the EvilProxy toolkit. And it's causing a spike in BEC, business email compromise, phishing, and waterhole attacks. Recently, EvilProxy was the weapon of choice to take control of Microsoft Office 365 accounts belonging to executives in US-based organizations by abusing open redirect from the Indeed employment website for job listing. And here I want to take a moment to explain that redirect issue. In every web server, there's certain codes are returned when you ask for things. For example, 100 provides information, 200 provide everything is okay, positive return, 300 return redirect client. For example, 302 found. And this is where our issue in the Indeed website. And you have 400 for bad request on the user end. For example, the 403 forbidden, 404 not found. Everything comes as a bad request from the user end. And then you have the 500, which is a problem with the actual web server, the 505 internal error. I digress here, and I want to return back to on track with the EvilProxy, but I just wanted to list here these codes because every incident responder should know these things when they read about them or see them in any incident. Continuing here with EvilProxy, or what is labeled as prepackaged phishing as a service toolkits. It is a very powerful adversary in the middle attack framework, which is being offered reasonably cheap, easy to use service on the dark web for cyber criminals. And the service provides as well training and a lot of templates, so it is a very good service and very cheap for crooks to provide or perform the phishing attacks. Where threat actors are using this phishing service to craft targeted phishing emails that include links to customized phishing websites, which are designed to look like legitimate sign-in pages for services like Google Workspace and Microsoft 365, which is heavily targeted currently. The phishing landing pages are extremely convincing and won't be differentiated from the original pages. Just going quickly into the attack chain for this one, where the victim receive a phishing email with Indeed link, the victim click on that Indeed link inside that email, redirecting the victim to the phishing page. And here we'll see the adversary in the middle, where the phishing site acts as a reverse proxy, proxying the request to the actual website. The attacker intercepts the legitimate service and request and respond from the user. And then the stolen session cookie can be used to log into legitimate Microsoft Online site, impersonating the victim and bypassing the MFA totally. Some of the attack chains we're seeing, a lot of the first redirect is very legit, not a malicious site. And then the third redirect, they're using something like Google Firebase. Google Firebase is a back-end cloud computing service for application development. It's a database services authentication for any application or platform could be used. And the problem is, if Google does some minimal vetting and checks on these services that they give to people, many of these campaigns will be dead in the water before they even get started. The stealth of EvilProxy makes it so dangerous, as the victim session appear to work just fine while logging into their 365 accounts. The threat actor stolen session key allows them to bypass MFA and even to set up a new MFA token, change forwarding rules, and do anything else they want, as they have already been granted access to the account. As mentioned, EvilProxy has client versions that attack Apple, Google, Twitter, GitHub, and GoDaddy emails account. So it's not only Office 365. And here they got everyone covered. Threat actors have previously used tools such as Modlishka, Necro Browser, and EvilJinx to bypass MFA very long time ago. But what we've seen, the success rate of EvilProxy is what is the big differentiator here in these campaigns. The best ways to defend against EvilProxy attacks or the similar of them or the likes is configure Microsoft Intune if you have it, compliance to deny access to untrusted devices. Implement conditional access through your Office 365 or Azure Entra ID. You may need to upgrade, unfortunately, your current license to limit access to specific devices and locations. Password-less authentication methods such as Windows Hello for Business. However, you need to have your end user's device to have biometric support, face recognition, fingerprint, as well using hardware token MFA methods, FIDO2 security keys. This one as well sometimes requests a biometric support for the end device. As you noticed, there are not one solution or one fix that will prevent or mitigate this attack vector, but there are a few that have to be implemented, and these controls have to be assessed every now and then. But that is not the silver bullet. You always have to have an incident response plan for phishing and playbooks for these things to when they happen, and be prepared and ready. The described vulnerability in the libwebp image library draws parallels to the widely publicized Log4j, Log4Shell incident from late 2021. Much like the Log4j library, which was integral to many JavaScript applications, the libwebp library is foundational for rendering WebP format images. CVE 2023-4863 is a zero-day heap buffer overflow vulnerability. Google has assigned a new CVE identifier for a critical security flaw in the libwebp image library for rendering images in the WebP format that has come under active exploitation in the wild. Google's decision to wrongly scope CVE 2023-4863 as a vulnerability in Google Chrome contradicted the fact that it also virtually affects every other application that relies on the libwebp library to process WebP images, indicating it had a broader impact than previously thought. Since the vulnerability is scoped under the overarching product containing the vulnerable dependency, the vulnerability will only be flagged by vulnerability scanners for these specific products. This creates a huge blind spot for organizations trying to solve the problem or scan for this problem. Now tracked under CVE 2023-5129 with a maximum severity score of 10 on the CVSS rating system, and having Hoffman coding to be blamed here. libwebp may write data out of bounds to the heap. The development comes after Apple, Google, and Mozilla released fixes to contain a bug tracked separately as CVE 2023-41064 and CVE 2023-4863 that could cause arbitrary code execution when processing a specially crafted image. Both flows are suspected to address the same underlying problem in the library, and I can understand the confusion that may have caused. Citizen Lab already informed Apple regarding the CVE 2023-41064, as it has been chained with another vulnerability, the 41061, as part of a zero-click iMessage exploit named BlastPass to deploy a spyware known as Pegasus, the famous one. With new details published by Google Project Zero regarding the in-the-wild exploitation of the 2023-0266 and 26083 by commercial spyware vendors targeting Samsung Android devices in the UAE and obtain kernel arbitrary read-write access. The flaw are believed to have been put to use along with 3 other flaws by a partner of a Spanish spyware company known as Veriston IT. So Apple, Google, any device or application you are using, make sure to make these updates, these critical updates now. I'll provide in the list as well the list of applications identified by Resilient, so make sure to go through that and update if you have or using any of these applications such as Python, Drupal, WordPress are among these affected. And the list is very long of applications using these libraries, as they are very popular. So make sure you do all these updates and go through that and make sure everything is updated. Artificial intelligence presents unequal opportunities for consolidating our defense capabilities, similar to how cyberspace technology transformed our approach to warfare and reconnaissance. These technologies have the potential to transform military operations, serving as force multipliers that augment existing capabilities and enable the development of novel operational concepts. Although advancements in AI have transformed various sectors of modern society, including business and finance, the national importance of AI as a strategy is still not being effectively reflected upon. AI and machine learning technologies have the potential to transform various aspects of military operations. We have already seen the increase in AI-generated malware base. While many of the tools employed already by many government agencies and departments may have leveraged component of machine learning, they have yet to fully exploit the potential use of AI. Some examples here as AI to counter unmanned aerial systems, AI-driven simulations can replicate complex conflict scenarios, any cyberspace war game. AI has the potential to transform undersea warfare by enhancing the capabilities of submarines. Recently, some experimental work demonstrated the potential of generative AI in tactical operations, using advanced AI modules like Google fin-tuned language, Net5, Flan T5XL, and Databricks incorporated Dolly V212B large language modules. In this demonstration, an operator receives an alert regarding enemy activity and consulted an AI chatbot for further intelligence and potential courses of action. The artificial intelligence chatbot then provides important information and proposes various tactical options, such as deploying an F-16 airplane, utilizing long-range artillery, or launching even Javelin missiles. As we increasingly integrate large language modules into military operations, there are many inherited risks to be accounted for. In the likes of fabricating false information, as we have seen large language models already doing, and threats such as data poisoning, prompt injection, and backdoor attacks. To combat this, we must start by building a mitigation strategy for a secure AI, building a resilient and robust training modules with a contained, isolated, federated learning data farms, preserving data privacy and library poisoning, using secure and resilient hardware and software from trusted sources such as DBOS, the database-oriented OS. AI is a trendy subject with people being opinionated about it. The matter of fact is that machine learning has marched a long way into becoming a true AI, bending the present into the future faster than we expected or thought. So a strategic artificial intelligence for our national security should be on the way to secure a faster, better governed future.
The Rising Cyber by Chad Sally B.